Well, injuries are a part of any season, which is this season why we have partnered with the AHN Pavilion.
And this week we are taking a look at, unfortunately, Browns running back Nick Chubb, his latest season-ending injury.
Unfortunately, what the NFL provides is very generic information. And so a foot fracture could mean a bunch of different things. And so we're a little bit limited regarding that. With the length of time that he's expected to be out to miss the rest of the season, you would anticipate it's one of the main foot bones. And so unfortunately, those just don't have sometimes a great blood supply there and will take a little bit longer to heal from that standpoint. Often a toe bone, if folks break a toe at home, that's one of those things that don't require a whole lot of treatment. You might be able to get away with a hard soled shoe or something we call a post-op shoe. And you can continue to live life and go to work and things like that. It makes it harder to play a sport, even with a toe fracture. But with how they're describing this injury, a foot fracture, I would anticipate just the nature of where those are, how we put weight on that area, to do anything, more or less, that makes it a little bit more significant of an injury and seems like it's going to be a season-ending injury for him in particular. And so the one thing I had seen was they, planned to put him in a walking boot is really what I saw, depending on the nature of the fracture. In extreme cases, a surgical intervention might be needed to put a screw or something like that. It looks like they're able to treat his injury conservatively, we would say, using a boot. Sometimes people would be on a cast or a knee scooter, a way to get around without having to put weight onto that actual foot and ankle area itself. And so, like I said, it looks like for his injury, he'll be using one of those walking boots, a boot that just sort of provides support to the foot and ankle, but is not a full-on cast. The actual bone itself, there are several bones in the foot that, like I said earlier, just don't have a great blood supply. And so those can sometimes take 12 weeks to heal, but often it's probably in that 6 to 12 weeks of a healing timeline. Yeah, I mean, I think the year previous was a knee injury, and so a little bit different, and I think he had fully rehabbed it from that standpoint. So not necessarily that it's going to take it longer to heal. I think that just goes back to the nature of the game of the NFL and the longevity of a running back in the NFL. Why do running backs only, they say maybe 8 years, have an 8-year career on average? It's because of the nature of week to week pounding that they take and the physical toll that it takes on the body from that standpoint, and the high incidence of injury in the running back and other athletic players.